Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the Supremely Enlightened One. Homage to the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the Supremely Enlightened One. Homage to the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the Supremely Enlightened One. Buddhang saranang gacchami, Dhammang saranang gacchami, Sanghang saranang gacchami, Dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami, Dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami, Dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami, Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami, Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami, Tatiyampi sanghang saranam gacchami. Sadhu, sadhu. Last week, started learning the Kāyasutta, right? You can remember. So I have shared the sutta on the screen. First, we pay homage to the Blessed One, Supremely Enlightened Buddha. Sadhu, sadhu. We pay homage to our teacher, Lokaswami Mahase. Sadhu, sadhu. So in this discourse, the Buddha explained about abandonment of unwholesome qualities, and we learned about 3 types of unwholesome qualities. Do you remember them? Bodily unwholesome qualities, or bodily misconduct. Verbal unwholesome qualities, verbal misconduct. And mental unwholesome qualities, mental misconduct, right? So what is the teaching of the Buddha here about those 3 types of unwholesome qualities? So Buddha taught us that some of the unwholesome qualities should be given up by the body, not by speech. And some of the unwholesome qualities should be given up by speech, not by the body. There are other unwholesome qualities that should be given up neither by the body nor by speech, but by seeing again and again with wisdom. Paññāya dissa pahatabba. Buddha also explained about the external help that we might sometimes get when we commit an offense by body or speech. Knowledgeable friends, wise friends who are around us would point out us, right? So then with that external help, one may be able to rehabilitate, to correct their mistakes, to stop continuing those unwholesome qualities, change their behavior, and practice restraint. So that would lead to the abandonment of bodily misconduct and verbal misconduct. Then we used another sutta, another discourse from the Majjhima Nikaya, to get a clear idea about the meaning of bodily misconduct and verbal misconduct. Do you remember? We discussed about bodily misconduct. Did we finish learning that? About 3 types of bodily misconduct.
Oh, Sarabanta, yes, we did.
So what are those 3 types of bodily misconduct taught by the Buddha?
The first one is killing living beings.
Second one is stealing. Third one is sexual misconduct. Those 3 types of bodily misconduct. And in these cases, Buddha taught us how we might receive the external help to recognize our misconduct.
And what are the things that should be given up by the body, not by speech? It's when a mendicant has committed a certain unskillful offense by way of body. After examination, sensible spiritual companions say this to them: Venerable, you have committed a certain unskillful offense by way of body. Please give up that bad bodily conduct and develop good bodily conduct. When spoken by their sensible spiritual companions, they give up that bad bodily conduct and develop good bodily conduct. These are the things that should be given up by the body, not by the speech.
Okay, so with that
Understand?
external help, right, coming from a
Kalian
spiritual
mitas?
companion, knowledgeable friend, right? We get the opportunity to recognize them, admit to ourselves, and then abandon the bodily misconduct and develop bodily good conduct, right? So those are the main 3 offenses in terms of bodily misconduct. So when they develop bodily good conduct, what is that? So we're going to learn about bodily good conduct.
And how is principle and moral conduct threefold by way of body? It's when a certain person gives up killing living creatures. They renounce the rod and the sword. They are scrupulous and kind, living full of sympathy for all living beings. They give up stealing. They don't with the intention to commit theft, take the wealth or belonging of others from village or wilderness. They give up sexual misconduct. They don't have sexual relations with women who have their mother, father, both mother and father, brother, sister, relatives, or clan as guardian. They don't have sexual relations with a woman who is protected on principle, or who has a husband, or whose violation is punishable by the law, or even one who has been garlanded as a token of betrothal. This is how principle and moral conduct is threefold by way of body.
Good. So the Buddha teaches here, just by abandoning bodily misconduct, you already practice bodily good conduct. So abandoning bodily misconduct means the practice of bodily good conduct. Because in order to abandon those unwholesome qualities by body, one has to make an intentional effort. Right there is a heap of wholesome qualities accumulated. You know how it is very difficult for people to abandon unwholesome qualities? It's because of lack of mindfulness, lack of energy, lack of awareness, lack of wisdom. So if somebody abstains from bodily misconduct, that means that person has lots of energy, lots of mindfulness, lots of awareness, already lots of wholesome qualities. As a result of using those wholesome qualities, that person is able to abandon unwholesome or bodily misconduct. So right there, you can see by abstaining from unwholesome qualities by body, you generate powerful good karma, and you practice the wholesome path. So, and also, it's not only about abandoning unwholesome qualities. You can see here in the first precept, they are scrupulous and kind, living full of sympathy for all living beings. You can see that the compassion, the kindness towards all living beings. So that's also very important. And based on that compassion, loving kindness, one can practice lots of wholesome bodily activities. These are the basic three types of bodily good conduct, but any bodily good conduct based on wholesome roots such as generosity, compassion, and wisdom, they are included in good bodily conduct. In the same way, abstaining from stealing, abstaining from sexual misconduct, and by being loyal to the husband, loyal to the wife, you can understand how much good karma somebody can earn, and how that directly, how that mm, bodily good conduct is linked with the Noble Eightfold Path, and that's a huge advantage of accumulation of wholesome qualities. Okay, next we go to learn about the verbal misconduct. So Buddha taught, when a spiritual companion helps us, discusses with us about our mistakes, our bodily misconduct, then we get an opportunity to abstain those unwholesome qualities and to develop wholesome qualities, develop bodily good conduct. And also you can understand the power of having good friends, spiritual companions. Completely, they play a big role in our spiritual path, because sometimes we may not recognize our own mistakes. As a result, we may continue committing those unwholesome qualities. But if we have good friends, honest friends, knowledgeable friends around us, spiritual companions, it's like a huge protection for somebody's life. And they always, honestly, they want to guide us in the right direction. That is the difference between an ordinary friend and a companion, spiritual companion. They don't expect anything in return from us for helping us to follow the right path. They are helping us to, overcome bad karma. They are a true help for us to overcome pain and suffering that would otherwise come to our life. They help us to overcome regret and remorse. That's why Buddha teaches having good friends is truly a blessing for the life. Truly a blessing. Okay, now we're going to learn about verbal conduct. Okay.
And how is principle and moral conduct fall by way of speech? It is when a certain person gives up lying. They are summoned to a council, an assembly, a family meeting, a guild, or to the royal court, and asked to bear witness. Please, worthy man, say what you know. Not knowing, they say I don't know. Knowing, they say I know. Not seeing, they say I don't see. And seeing, they say I see. So they don't deliberately lie for the sake of themselves or another, or for some trivial worldly reason. They give up divisive speech. They don't repeat in one place what they heard in another so as to divide people against each other. Instead, they reconcile those who are divided, supporting unity, delighting in harmony, loving harmony, speaking words that promote harmony. They give up harsh speech. They speak in a way that's mellow, pleasing to the ear, lovely, going to the heart, polite, likable, and agreeable to the people. They give up talking nonsense. Their words are timely, true, and meaningful, in the line with the teaching and training. They say things at the right time which are valuable, reasonable, succinct, and beneficial. This is how principle and moral conduct is fourfold by way of speech.
Good. So this is the bodily good conduct, right? So verbal good conduct, fourfold verbal good conduct. This comes as a result of abandoning verbal misconduct. So what is the meaning of verbal misconduct? This is verbal misconduct.
And how is unprincipled and immoral conduct fourfold by way of speech? It's when a certain person lies. They're summoned to a council, an assembly, a family meeting, a guild, or to the royal court, and asked to bear witness. Please, worthy man, say what you know. Not knowing, they say, I know. Knowing, they say, I don't know. Not seeing, they say, I see. And seeing, they say, I don't see. So they deliberately lie for the sake of themselves or another, or for some trivial worldly reason. They speak divisively. They repeat in one place that they heard in another, so as to divide people against each other. And so they divide those who are harmonious, supporting division, delighting in division, loving in division, speaking words that promote division. They speak harshly. They use the kinds of words that are cruel, nasty, hurtful, offensive, bordering on anger, not leading to immersion. They talk nonsense. Their speech is untimely and is neither factual nor beneficial. It has nothing to do with the teaching or the training. Their words have no value and are untimely, unreasonable, rambling, and pointless. This is how unprincipled and immoral conduct is fourfold by way of speech.
Very good. So here Buddha clearly explains about the four types of verbal misconduct. And then Buddha went on to say that when somebody speaks like this, a spiritual companion, knowledgeable person would notice it, would hear that, and then would come to help us, right? Okay, so you spoke these kind of words, these are unwholesome words, and you make bad karma. Please avoid talking like that and abandon verbal misconduct and practice verbal good conduct. So basically verbal misconduct means lying, divisive speech, harsh speech, and gossip, right? And then cultivating verbal good conduct is making that deliberate effort, intentional effort to avoid those words. It's itself wholesome qualities. The honest effort that somebody makes not to speak lies, divisive words, harsh speech, and gossip, it's powerful good karma. And it's not only about abandoning verbal misconduct, it's always when you abandon lying, you speak the truth. When you abandon divisive speech, you use your words to promote harmony, promote friendships, to reconcile those who are divided. So you can use those words. Abandoning harsh speech means you use these beautiful words that are pleasing to the ear, lovely, going to the heart, polite, likable, and agreeable to the people. Abstaining from gossip or nonsense means you speak timely, meaningful words. You talk about the Dhamma, talk about the precepts, the Vinaya, the training taught by the Buddha. And you talk about wholesome qualities, encouraging others to do good things. Talk about generosity, giving and sharing. Talks about volunteering, helping parents, supporting each other. So there are so many good words one can speak. So that is how one would abandon verbal misconduct and come to the practice of verbal good conduct. So now we discussed about those two types of things, right? So that is the meaning of what Buddha said about the things that should be given up by the body, not by speech. There are things should be given up by speech, not by the body. So we learned about those. And we are going to learn about the third one. There are things that should be given up neither by the body nor by speech, but by seeing again and again with wisdom. Before going to that, if you think about the consequences of bodily misconduct and verbal misconduct, lots of beings are reborn in miserable places after death due to bodily misconduct and verbal misconduct. You can learn about this by reading discourses about the causes lead to rebirth in hell, animal world, and ghost world. There are discourses in the collections, and also you can read the stories of ghosts, Petavattu. You can see how beings are reborn as hungry ghosts due to lying, divisive speech, harsh speech, killing, stealing, sexual misconduct. You can very clearly see how beings end up in miserable places due to the bodily and verbal misconduct. So they are very dangerous, very, very dangerous things. So many humans' next life is not going to be pleasant as the present life if they don't change their the way of life, because these bodily misconduct and verbal misconduct are based on unwholesome roots such as hatred, greed, hatred, and delusion. When actions are done based on those unwholesome roots, always bad karma is accumulated. Buddha saw the results, the consequences, how beings are suffering in those planes of misery. Buddha saw with his own eyes. That's why Buddha wanted to help people to avoid bodily misconduct and verbal misconduct. So do you have any questions before we move on to the third one?
Now, Buddha Bante, I
Yeah.
have a question,
Mhm.
but I hope Bante, sometimes it's just trouble me or everybody that that there are certain people who let's say on the verbal side, verbal misconduct. They've been doing all this lying, they've been doing all this harsh speech, divisive especially, and as well as doing nonsense talk. However, they have the support of a majority of people. People believe in him. Okay? And then he continued to do more and more and very influential, and to the extent that he won in elections. And now, um, Bante, of course, we observe. I observe what the way he talks and everything and the contents, but it is actually harming everybody. So my question, therefore, is: we know that that's bad, okay? But then how come that he has this support with the people and seems to be more and more powerful every day, and it's influencing the whole world, okay? So so maybe Banta can share some light on these specific people. Let's not say right now. Let's say before there is Hitler, the same thing, right, Bante? He was so powerful, and then until
But the thing is,
yeah.
doesn't matter if a liar has uh, lots of support or a big congregation, majority, doesn't matter, I mean that would not affect the consequences of the bad karma. I mean, you cannot say, okay, this person lied, but he has lots of supporters, so his bad karma is weakened. It's nothing to do with his assembly, nothing to do with his support. Whatever is done, a volitional act, that person is responsible. But the thing is, I I can see what you are talking here. So some people expect the results of bad karma in this very life. So if they see, okay, this person lied and he doesn't have any support from the community, from the uh, society, and he is alone now because he lied, and these painful consequences fell on him. Now he is suffering. So now everybody thinks, okay, lying is bad, so this person is suffering because of lying. So that means people like to see instant karma, or at least the results of karma in this very life. That's how no, that's not the way the karma works. So that it's not because somebody have lots of popularity, fame, power. We cannot link that results of karma to the actions we like. Maybe there is an evil person or a liar or somebody else receives lots of other things or the other happy things like fame, money, power, and all these things. It's not because of lying. We cannot say it's because of lying. Maybe it's because of previous good karma. Even though that person is doing evil in this life, that doesn't mean that person always did evil in this long journey of samsara. That person did good things as well in the past. So the results of that good karma can come anytime. So what happens is if we mix a certain actions with certain results, if we try to conclude, okay, how come these results with these actions? No, that's our interpretation. Okay, so when we live in this samsara, in this life, 3 types of karma are experienced. The results of the actions done in this very life, we experience them, and the results of the actions done in the previous life, we experience them, and the results of the actions done in any of the previous lives, in the very, very hidden past, we experience them as well. So we don't know which result coming from which karma. Okay, but we know one thing for sure: if somebody lied, that's an unwholesome karma, and there will be consequences, painful consequences for that, but not necessarily in this life. Maybe in the next life, or maybe in one of the future lives, the painful results will come, will follow that person. Okay.
So Bante, the question therefore is, previous lives of this person, he did a lot of good deeds, good conduct, and so this life he is experiencing all the good things
The
and
results of good
yeah,
karma.
the results, the karma. However, what made him suddenly shift to 180 degrees to misconduct this life? So there is something,
It's
right?
because
Yeah.
you already know it's because of not having spiritual companions around, not
Uh,
having the access to the teachings of an enlightened one. It's same like
mhm,
our life. Everybody's life is same, right? If somebody has changed their life, transformed their life, it's because they they got to associate with good friends, and they got to read and study the teachings of the Buddha. Um, you can see they have changed their life. But if somebody doesn't have that support, then
mhm,
who will be around that person? Friends with ignorance would be around that person, and instead of Dhamma, there'll be wrong teachings around that person, and then that person is helpless. He doesn't
mhm,
know anything else to think, anything else to speak, anything else to do. So that is the power of having good friends. That is the power of having the access to the teachings of an enlightened one. That's why we repeatedly say this is a very rare opportunity. If we miss this opportunity, there is no difference between the people who do evil out there and us. There's no difference. We can be the same evil person next life,
mhm.
right?
So Bante, anything on the past, let's say the good deeds, the good karma, and will it somehow follow to this life or totally wipe out? So in
Good
this case,
karma.
this person, right? So this person, let's say his past life was really good. He was doing
Mm,
all the good deeds.
mm.
Now this life, is there no way that some of the good things, some of the good karma followed him, I mean the good deeds, okay?
Mm.
So but then what we see right now, this person is kind of totally evil. So and then now he is contagious to the whole world, he's
So
he's evil. So
mainly,
I'm just wondering.
when we practice the Dhamma, we focus on ourselves,
Okay, yes,
because
for sure.
because because within us there are so many defilements. All the unwholesome roots are still present, and we spend our whole life talking about other people. That's not going to purify our minds, because we are also in the same danger. If we lose the association of spiritual companions today, if we if we avoid studying and contemplating the teachings of an enlightened one today, our life will be also transformed to an evil life. So that means we are not well established in the path. If somebody is well established in the path, either they have attained the first stage of enlightenment, second stage of enlightenment, so and so forth. They are not going to decline. But everybody else is in danger. So it's like that. We can spend our whole life talking about other people's evil actions, but that's not going to take us out from the danger. Maybe the person we are talking about, or the people we are talking about, saying, oh, those people are evil and so on. So they will transform their life. They will change their life in the future, or maybe in the last moment. That has happened to people in the past. At some point, they get the association of spiritual friends, they get access to the teachings of an enlightened one, and they change. Because by doing a little bit of wholesome qualities can weaken powerful bad karma. Because the wholesome actions taught by the Buddha are extremely powerful. Even a little bit of it can weaken lots of bad karma results. So that other people can change, but we don't make an effort to purify ourselves, and we spend our whole life talking about other people's evil deeds. What will happen to us if we don't change ourselves? And the other people are now safe, we will be in danger. So the wise way is to focus on our defilements and how to purify our mind, how to remove the roots of unwholesomeness from our life. And that's also practical, because we can do something about our life, but we cannot control other people. We can only develop loving kindness, compassion, right? Okay.
Sure. Thank you, Bante.
No
Rest
problem.
assured, we will do our best, and we
Yeah.
will be good
Yeah,
person.
we can do a lot. We can do a lots of good things to the world, and we can
Yes, for sure.
be an example to the world and things like that.
Thank you, Bante.
If we practice this Dhamma well, many people around us, they will benefit it. They will have peace in their mind, because they know that we are not harming them, we are not hurting them. We are honest, we are virtuous, we are generous. So that would give lots of relief to the people who are around us, lots of peace. Okay,
Thank you, Bante.
good.
That was there. Just a quick question is that um did Buddha say that, or do we know that not everything is like dependent in one's life is dependent on karma, because it doesn't necessarily play out, not all the karmas will play out in your present life or so. Whenever there is a chance, it kind of happens or so, I guess. So I was just wondering, like, so is there a way to tell, like, how much of one's life kind of dependent on karma, or like, how would you know which one is and which one isn't, maybe?
Which one is coming from past karma and which one is not?
Yeah, sort of. I mean, I know it probably isn't possible, but kind of, or, what do they say, kind of?
Yeah. So there's a very main teaching in the Buddha. Buddha teaches, if somebody says everything experienced by somebody in this life happens due to past karma, that is not the Buddha's teaching. That is very important. If somebody says whatever is experienced by a person, that is all coming from past karma, that is not the teaching of the Buddha. That means that is not aligned with the natural law of the world, and that is not true. Only some things in our life, when we experience things, they happen due to the results of past karma. Some things in our life are not due to the past karma. You can learn more about, you can guess, like when Buddha was alive, Buddha would tell people, okay, this is because of this karma done in past life. For example, one of the monks lost his eyesight at the time of attainment of liberation. And the monks were curious about it. And Buddha said, this is definitely a past karma. He gave, in one of his past lives, he was an eye doctor, and he gave, he got angry with the patients for a reason, and then he gave wrong medicine. So that lady lost her eyesight and suffered a lot. So when this eye doctor became a monk in future lives, that karma followed him. Even though he was a monk, even though he was practicing lots of wholesome qualities, even though he was practicing mindfulness, meditation, that karma still followed him. So he lost the eyesight the day he attained arahantship. So like that, when Buddha was alive, Buddha would disclose so many incidents that happened due to past karma. Okay? But there are other things in our life, Buddha teaches, it's not due to past karma. So if you read the discourses, you can guess some of the things you experience in your life. And Buddha teaches short lifespan is a result of the bad karma of killing in past lives. Long lifespan is the result of good karma of abstaining from killing, helping other people, saving lives, right? So we are already experiencing those things. The beauty is a result of practicing patience and loving kindness. That's the karma done in the past life. If somebody is famous, powerful, that is because of the good karma of not being jealous, and also the result of respecting the people who are worthy of respect. So like that we can guess. If we study the discourses, we can have a very good understanding about the karma, the things we experience, things other people experience due to the previous karma. But at the same time, we need to understand some things in our life happen not because of the previous karma, because of some other reasons. Buddha explains, for example, during flu season, you get flu, you get sick. Buddha teaches it's because of season, not because of past karma. And during sport or some other physical activities, you use your body in a careless way. And Buddha teaches it's not because of previous karma, it's because of your carelessness. Right? See how smart the Buddha is? But in general, when you study the teachings, you can understand, you can see many things in our life. Not all, but many things are due to past karma. So if we experience pain, we need to understand we have done something evil in our life, in previous lives, so we should not repeat. We should not do evil things because I am experiencing pain, lots of pain. And when you experience good things happen to your life, you are rich, you get delicious food, good clothing, you have a good house, comfortable vehicle, you can understand you have practiced lots of good things in your past lives. So you experience the bliss, the happiness. So you should continue doing those good things because you already know the happiness, how happy the results are. So is future going to be the same? So it's like that. But we cannot say 100%, okay, this is due to past karma and this is not due to past karma. We cannot say that. But what that's not our goal. Our goal in the spiritual path is not to find out what is happening due to past karma and what is not happening due to past karma. That's not the goal of our spiritual path. The goal of the spiritual path is to stop karma, achieving karma nirodho, achieving the end of karma, achieving the cessation of karma. Because as long as there is arranging of karma, what comes next? Jat, bhavapachya,
Rebirth.
jati, rebirth. When rebirth happens, then we are open to all the suffering, all the dangers of life, again and again. So that there is a path to achieve the end of karma. That's called Kamma Nirodha Gamini Patipada, which is the noble eightfold path. So our goal in life should be to follow the path to end karma. That's the main goal. But in some cases, we need to understand, we need to have an understanding about karma and result. For example, some people, what can I say? Let's say somebody is always sick. Okay. So then this person thinks, okay, maybe I have hurt, I have injured other people in past lives, because Buddha teaches if you are sick always, then that can be the result of past karma of injuring others, hurting other people. So then this person is suffering a lot because this person is always sick, right? Okay, so understanding the result of that, guessing that, this person thinks, okay, let me try doing lots of wholesome qualities, accumulating lots of wholesome karma. Maybe it will help me to change my life. So then this person completely abstains from injuring other beings, injuring humans and animals, hurting others. And this person becomes a very kind, compassionate person and helps lots of sick people, doing volunteering in hospitals, like that. So this person is generating good karma now, opposite to a healthy life, opposite to an unhealthy life, right? So some of the results of that good karma can come in this very life, and that sick person will be a healthy person, at least to some extent, as a result of the good karma. So in that case, that wise person used the knowledge of karma and results. That person didn't always, went to complain, why this happened to me, why this happened to me, I'm always sick, how unfortunate I am. That person didn't curse himself like that and use the knowledge of karma in a wise way. I think some people use that knowledge like that. And for example, there can be a very poor person living with lots of difficulties, and that person thinks, maybe in my past lives I was very greedy. Maybe I had lots of things, lots of wealth, but I didn't share it with anybody. That's why I am very poor in this life. So then this person thinks, okay, let me be very generous in this life. I am poor, but I have little, but still I can share. I can share even a little bit. So this person starts practicing generosity, okay? Even with little he or she has. And the karma of that generosity can come in this very life. And suddenly that person can be very rich. Haven't you heard those kind of stories? Poor people become very rich people suddenly. So people can use the knowledge of karma in a wise way. Some people do use, okay? Good. Okay. So don't always think about the bad karma and bad unhappy results. But you can always think, I can change my karma. Some, not all, okay? Some karma you can change. You can try. You can give it a try. For example, another example, if I would say, some mothers like to have babies, right? But they don't have babies, so they think maybe I have done some bad karma in past lives. So then, but they're not very sad about it. They don't get upset. They don't complain. They don't curse themselves. They think, okay, let me collect some new merit. So then these mothers become very generous. You start observing 5 precepts, start observing 8 precepts, and start worshipping the stupas, worshipping the relics, sharing merit with the heavenly beings. And then at some point in their life, they become pregnant. They have babies. Anyhow, she managed to weaken and overcome the results of the bad karma came from past lives. How? By creating new good karma. So there is a possibility, you know. There is a possibility somebody can change. But we don't know 100%. Okay, this is due to past karma, so let me do this so it will change that. But you can try, okay? You're not losing anything because of trying to do good things. You're not losing anything.
But Bante, may I ask? So does it mean that the present good karma that you did can offset from any unwholesome karma in the past? Not directly, or will it offset?
That's the whole purpose.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Buddha teaches there are some powerful good karma that can weaken bad karma. There are
mm-hmm,
some powerful good karma, powerful bad karma that can weaken some good karma. So like that,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
there are discourses.
I see. Thank you, Bante.
Yeah. But the good karma of attaining the first stage of enlightenment is so powerful. It can not only weaken but completely eradicate the bad karma that would lead to the rebirth in a miserable place. You know that, right? That's the power of the good karma that attaining the first stage of enlightenment. Practicing loving kindness meditation is also, when you study the teachings, you see that is a powerful good karma that can weaken lots of results, unwholesome karma results. loving kindness meditation. So there are lots of opportunities to change.
Thank you, Bhante. I think you alluded to this already, but what I find difficult is, let's say in this lifetime you've been trying really hard to be the good person, good human being, surrounded by good people, all that stuff. And you're still kind of suffering. You've obstacles, you've a lot of, bad things happening to you all the time, despite you not resisting it and you're accepting and you keep trying to be a good person. And you're unable to understand that the suffering can be as a result of whatever past karma that you don't even know what it was about. And let's say, you hurt somebody in the past and therefore you're getting hurt in this lifetime. But how do I repent now so that I can overcome this and not keep suffering without knowledge, like what have I done in the past? Like that acceptance of suffering in the moment so that you can move past it, I find it very, very difficult. Especially mind is powerful. Logically, you can't rationalize anything and you're like, accept what is, becomes extremely difficult.
So can't you think that because of the pain I'm going through now, I am finishing some of the bad karma? Did you think about that?
No, I never thought about that.
But there is some aspect of the truth. All right. So when we experience something pain in life, and if we think, okay, maybe this is due to some evil karma I did in the past, but when I go through this pain, it is true that it's very difficult, but at the same time, this karma is not permanent. The results of karma are not permanent. Right?
Right.
The giving pain to my life, on the other hand, the karma is ending. Karma is ending. The result for this specific thing, that karma is ending. That's also true. And that doesn't mean that we always, when we are in pain, we are always like we don't pay attention to that and we just ignore that. No, that's not the meaning. We try to use different ways to increase our wholesome karma. There's nothing wrong of doing that. Increasing wholesome karma.
Right.
Expecting that the results of this good karma might weaken the results of the bad karma that I am experiencing now. There is nothing wrong of that expecting like that. So we try to increase our wholesome karma side. Even though we are in great pain, we still try to spread loving kindness to others, compassion to others, and we try to practice generosity. We do some volunteering, practice good qualities, at least to some extent.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so it's important to make an effort. And if nothing works, Buddha teaches kammang dallang kinti karomi dan. Then you can think maybe my bad karma coming from past lives is so strong, right? So you tried so many things, but still lots of negative things, sad things happen. And then still you, without getting angry, Buddha teaches, without being sad, without crying, without lamenting, you practice strong patience, thinking maybe my karma is so strong. At the same time, you can think karma is not permanent, and this karma is exhausted, and day by day, this karma is coming to an end of this specific specific action, right? So things like that. So definitely karma is, when we think about that, like when evil doers are reborn in hell, they're not going to be permanent there. Of course, they have to suffer there for years and years, or maybe eons and eons. But even that will come to an end one day. It's because when the hell being goes through the pain, that means he is finishing up with the results of karma. But nobody should encourage others to do evil things, saying, don't worry, it will end. Don't say like that, okay? And the results of bad karma is so painful, as Buddha explains. So, but we need to understand the general truth. The karma is not permanent. Karma is felt through the 6 senses, and when the results are experienced and felt, that means we are finishing our karma. For example, good karma is same thing. Every day when we eat delicious food, when we wear nice clothes, when we use our comfortable vehicle, we are spending our previous karma. If we don't create new karma, we go empty-handed to our next life. So we are spending the results of good karma as well. Okay? So everybody needs to create good karma. And good karma always gives happy results. Sadhu, sadhu. Today we collected lots of merit by observing precepts, going for refuges, Ripple Gem, discussing the teachings of the Buddha, reading the words of the Buddha, practicing meditation, and helping each other in many ways. We share all the merit with our teacher, Lukuswami Nahanse. Sadhu. We share merit with all the monks and nuns in the world. Sadhu. We share merit with all the heavenly beings. Sadhu. We share merit with our parents, teachers, family members, brothers, sisters, sons, daughters, and with all beings. May all beings rejoice in this merit, enjoy good health, long life, happiness, and peace.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Our Sarai Bante, many merit for teaching us the Dhamma in Bante's busy schedule. We would like to share merit with Bante and ask for forgiveness.
Okay.
Dhamma friends, there's a screen share. You can follow me from your end. Okasa Wandami Bante. Maya katang punyang samina anumodi tabbang.
Sadhu Anumodan.
Samina katang punyang may hangda tabbang.
Sadhu Anumodan.
Sadhu sadhu anumodami. Okasa dwaratena. Katang sapang atchayang. Kamatami Bante.
Kamami Kamitami.
Okasa kamami Bante. Dutiyampi okasa kamami Bante. Tatiyampi okasa kamami Bante.
Vivadana Silis Nicham Vadapchaino Chataru Dhamma Vadanti Ayuano Sakambala Ayurarogi Sampatti Sagga Sampatti Mevacha Tonibbana Sampatti Minate Samijjatu.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
May
Thank
you
you
be
very much.
happy.
May Bante
Teruan
be
saranai
happy.
Kawinasa.
Thank you, Bante. Teruan saranai.
Thank you
Sukhiya.
so much, Bante.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Bante.
Bante.
Thank you, Bante. Nama Budaya.
Namo Buddhaya.
Sukhiya.
Teruan saranai.
Sukhiya.